The search for mental clarity. Imagine your mind as a serene lake. When the water is calm, you can see the bottom clearly. But when it's disturbed by ripples, caused by wind, raindrops, or movement, it becomes murky and clouded. Now think about your thoughts. Do they flow like a gentle stream? Or are they a chaotic storm of ideas, worries, and distractions? In today's world, many of us feel like we're drowning in information. From the moment we wake up, our phones light up with notifications, news, and opinions. This relentless noise leaves little room for reflection or focus. We struggle to make decisions, second-guess ourselves, and feel overwhelmed by even the simplest challenges. Yet, mental clarity, the ability to think clearly and calmly, has never been more essential. It enables us to navigate life with purpose, make better decisions, and respond to challenges with grace. While achieving this clarity might seem impossible, Buddhist philosophy offers a practical and timeless roadmap. For over 2,500 years, Buddhism has provided insights into the workings of the human mind. It emphasizes practices that quiet the noise, sharpen focus, and help us see the world and ourselves with profound understanding. These aren't abstract theories but actionable principles that can be applied in daily life. This article explores 6 transformative Buddhist lessons designed to cultivate mental clarity. Each lesson is more than an idea. It's a tool you can use to reclaim peace and purpose in an increasingly chaotic world. Let's dive in and uncover the wisdom that can guide you toward a clearer, more fulfilling life. Part 1. The Art of Reducing Mental Noise. 1.1 The Challenge of a Noisy Mind. The modern world is a battlefield for attention. From buzzing notifications to endless advertisements, our minds are constantly bombarded. Social media platforms, news outlets, and even our workplaces compete to hold our focus. The result? Mental fatigue, stress, and a sense of overwhelm. Take Sarah, for example, a 29-year-old graphic designer. Sarah starts her day by scrolling through her phone. Between emails, texts, and social media updates, she's already consumed dozens of bits of information before breakfast. Throughout the day, she juggles work deadlines, family responsibilities, and the constant pull of her phone. By evening, she feels drained but finds herself unable to wind down. Sarah's experience isn't unique. According to studies, the average person processes thousands of thoughts daily, many of which are trivial or unnecessary. This mental clutter makes it difficult to concentrate, prioritize, or even relax. 1.2 The Buddhist Perspective on Mental Noise. Buddhism offers a powerful antidote, mindfulness. At its core, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. It encourages us to observe our thoughts without judgment and to gently redirect our attention to the here and now. The practice of mindfulness is often compared to sitting beside a river. Instead of being swept away by the current, you simply watch the water flow. Thoughts, like the river, come and go. By not attaching to them, you create space for clarity. One of Buddhism's most enduring metaphors compares the mind to a pond. When the water is still, it reflects the sky and surroundings perfectly. But when disturbed by ripples or waves, the image becomes distorted. Similarly, a calm mind reflects reality with clarity, while a restless mind creates confusion. 1.3 Practical Applications of Mindfulness. How can you apply mindfulness to reduce mental noise? Start with these simple exercises. Mindful breathing. Take 5 minutes each morning to focus solely on your breath. Inhale deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs. Exhale slowly, noticing the sensation as the air leaves your body. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. Mindful observation. Choose an everyday activity, like drinking tea or walking, and give it your full attention. Notice the texture of the teacup, the warmth of the liquid, or the sensation of your feet touching the ground. Tech-free time. Dedicate certain parts of your day to being fully present without technology. For instance, during meals, Keep your phone in another room and focus on the taste, smell, and texture of your food. Returning to Sarah's story, she decided to integrate mindfulness into her routine. She began each day with 5 minutes of mindful breathing and set a tech-free hour in the evening. Within weeks, she noticed a significant reduction in stress and an improved ability to concentrate. By practicing mindfulness, you can reduce the mental noise that clouds your thoughts. Over time, this creates a calm, focused mind, a foundation for thinking clearly and responding wisely to life's challenges. Part 2. Mastering the Power of Detachment. 2.1 The Pitfall of Overattachment. Attachment to outcomes is one of the greatest barriers to clear thinking. Whether it's a promotion, a relationship, or a personal goal, we often tie our sense of self-worth to achieving specific results. This attachment can lead to anxiety, disappointment, and irrational decisions. Consider Michael, a 40-year-old entrepreneur who invested heavily in a business venture. Despite initial success, the business faced challenges, and Michael became obsessed with saving it. His attachment to the idea of being a successful entrepreneur clouded his judgment, leading him to make risky decisions. Ultimately, the business failed, leaving Michael devastated. 2.2 The Buddhist Philosophy of Non-Attachment. Buddhism teaches that attachment is the root of suffering. However, it's important to note that non-attachment doesn't mean indifference. Instead, it's about freeing yourself from the need for specific outcomes, allowing you to approach life's challenges with balance and objectivity. Think of non-attachment as holding a bird in your hand. If you grip too tightly, you harm the bird. If you hold it gently, it can rest comfortably before flying away. Similarly, detachment allows you to care deeply without being consumed by fear or desperation. 2.3 Steps to practice detachment. Here's how you can cultivate non-attachment in your daily life. Shift your focus. Instead of obsessing over results, focus on the effort you put into a task. This helps you find satisfaction in the process rather than being consumed by the outcome. Reframe failure. View setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what can I gain from this experience? Let go of labels. Avoid defining yourself by specific roles or achievements. Embrace the idea that your worth isn't tied to external successes. Returning to Michael's story, he eventually embraced detachment. After reflecting on his experience, he realized that his worth wasn't defined by one failed venture. He shifted his focus to building new skills and exploring other opportunities. This mindset not only restored his confidence but also opened doors to new possibilities. By mastering the power of detachment, you free your mind from the constraints of rigid expectations. This clarity allows you to approach life's uncertainties with wisdom, resilience, and peace. Part 3. The Beauty of Simplicity in Thought. 3.1 The Problem with Overcomplication. Humans have a natural tendency to overthink. We take simple problems and turn them into elaborate webs of worry and indecision. This mental habit not only drains our energy but also clouds our ability to act decisively. For instance, Emma, a high school teacher, found herself paralyzed by the complexity of planning a new curriculum. Instead of starting with one section at a time, she overwhelmed herself with every detail of the year-long plan. The sheer weight of it made her procrastinate for weeks. 3.2 The Buddhist Value of Simplicity. Buddhism extols simplicity, not just as a way of life but as a key to mental clarity. Simplicity in thought means breaking down complex problems into manageable parts and focusing on the present step. This reduces anxiety and provides a clearer view of the task at hand. Simplicity is like navigating a dense forest. Instead of trying to see the entire path at once, you focus on the next step, trusting that clarity will come as you move forward. 3.3 Techniques to simplify complex thoughts. Break it down. Divide a large project into smaller, actionable steps. Write down these steps and tackle them one at a time. Focus on priorities. Identify the most important part of the problem and address it first. Practice present moment thinking. Avoid getting lost in future scenarios. Concentrate on what you can do right now. Emma eventually applied this approach to her curriculum planning. She started with the first month's lessons and built from there. The process became less intimidating, and her confidence grew with each completed step. By embracing simplicity, you can strip away unnecessary mental clutter, allowing your thoughts to flow freely and clearly. Part 4. Questioning assumptions for true understanding. 4.1 How assumptions limit us. Unexamined assumptions act like invisible barriers, shaping how we perceive the world and ourselves. Often, these beliefs are inherited from upbringing, culture, or past experiences. Left unchecked, they can lead to biased decisions and missed opportunities. Consider James, a talented software developer. Despite his skills, he avoided leadership roles because he believed he wasn't charismatic enough. This assumption, rooted in childhood insecurities, held him back professionally. 4.2 The role of self-inquiry in Buddhism. Buddhism emphasizes self-inquiry as a path to wisdom. By questioning our beliefs, we uncover their origins and assess whether they still serve us. This practice fosters self-awareness and frees us from mental limitations. A Buddhist teaching encourages us to approach beliefs with curiosity, asking, "Is this true, or is it a story I've been telling myself?" Through this process, we gain insight into how our thoughts shape our reality. 4.3 Tools for self-inquiry. Ask why 5 times. This method digs beneath surface assumptions. For example, if you believe, "I'm not good at public speaking," ask why repeatedly until you uncover the root cause. Challenge absolutes. Replace statements like, "I always fail," with, "What evidence do I have that this is true?" Journaling for reflection. Writing helps clarify hidden beliefs and provides a space to explore alternative perspectives. James decided to challenge his assumptions by taking a small leadership role in a team project. To his surprise, his colleagues appreciated his thoughtful communication style, and he realized his belief about charisma was unfounded. By questioning assumptions, you create space for growth and open yourself to possibilities previously obscured by self-doubt. Part 5. Embracing delayed judgment. 5.1 The rush to judge in a fast-paced world. In a culture of instant gratification, we often feel pressured to make snap decisions. While quick thinking has its place, hasty judgments frequently lead to misunderstandings and regrettable actions. Take Laura, who assumed her colleague's curt email was a sign of hostility. Acting on this belief, she responded defensively, escalating a simple misunderstanding into an unnecessary conflict. 5.2 The Buddhist practice of patience. Buddhism teaches the value of delayed judgment, pausing to observe before forming conclusions. This practice encourages patience, allowing emotions to settle and clarity to emerge. The process can be likened to a cup of muddy water. If you keep stirring, the water remains cloudy, but if you let it sit, the sediment settles, and the water becomes clear. 5.3 Building the habit of delayed judgment. Pause before reacting. Take 3 deep breaths before responding to any emotionally charged situation. Seek more information. Ask clarifying questions or wait until you have a fuller picture before making decisions. Practice self-restraint. Remind yourself that not every situation demands an immediate response. Laura eventually adopted this approach. The next time she received a curt email, she waited before responding. Later, she discovered her colleague was overwhelmed and had no ill intentions. By delaying her judgment, Laura avoided unnecessary tension. Patience in judgment not only improves decision-making but also fosters better relationships and greater inner peace. Part 6. Strengthening mental filters. 6.1 The impact of mental clutter. The information we consume shapes how we think and feel. Without intentional boundaries, negativity, sensationalism, and criticism can dominate our mental space. leading to stress and distorted perspectives. Imagine Mark, who spends hours scrolling through social media, comparing himself to others. The constant exposure to curated perfection leaves him feeling inadequate and disconnected. 6.2 Buddhism's approach to mental filters. Buddhism emphasizes mindfulness in choosing what we allow into our minds. Strengthening mental filters involves discerning which influences support clarity and which create chaos. The mind is often compared to a garden. If you plant weeds, negative thoughts or harmful influences, they overrun the space. But by cultivating positive seeds, like gratitude and wisdom, the mind becomes a flourishing sanctuary. 6.3 Practices to strengthen mental filters. Limit exposure to negativity. Reduce time spent on toxic social media or sensational news. Surround yourself with positivity, choose friends, activities, and content that inspire and uplift. Practice gratitude and self-compassion. These habits replace self-criticism with supportive inner dialogue. Mark eventually set boundaries around his social media use. He unfollowed accounts that fueled comparison and started journaling daily gratitude. Over time, his sense of self-worth improved, and his mental clarity returned. By strengthening mental filters, you create an inner environment conducive to peace, focus, and growth. Conclusion: the journey toward clear thinking. Clarity of thought is not an innate gift but a skill cultivated through intention and practice. The 6 Buddhist lessons explored here: reducing mental noise, mastering detachment, embracing simplicity, questioning assumptions, delaying judgment, and strengthening mental filters, offer a roadmap to transform your mind. Each principle builds upon the others, guiding you toward a life of greater focus, resilience, and authenticity. Start small. Perhaps begin with mindful breathing or questioning a long-held assumption. Progress at your own pace, knowing that every step brings you closer to the calm, clear mind you seek. As the Buddhist proverb reminds us, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Begin yours today, and watch as clarity becomes the foundation for a life of wisdom, purpose, and peace.